Hey folks, and welcome back to another one of my videos. I'm Brendan from Bluelight, and over the past several years I've been coaching and supporting people for the police recruitment process. So if you'd like to find a little bit more about what that involves, check out the blurb below. There's a link to some of my courses, my webpage, and also a link to my fantastic Facebook support group that's now got over 6,200 members, all supporting and guiding each other through the recruitment process in a very ethical way. So there's a link below on how to join that. So today we are in York, just finished a day of one-to-one coaching with one of my clients who's preparing for the National Search Assessment Centre. He's actually just finished in the Marines, so serious kudos to him for his service. However, one of the things that the military are pretty poor at, I'd suggest, is preparing people for the outside world. They'll allow you funds to go and secure training and go and secure coaching, and they will do some stuff to support you, but in terms of preparing you throughout your career, I'm not sure about that. But anyway, you know, it is what it is, and compared to the police, who before you retire do nothing, so they're pretty good actually. So this client today, we had to do a little bit of work around interview preparation. So it's just a bit of a reminder for you folks really that this is what we're looking for, or what I'm looking for in any answers, because I've mapped this process out against the competencies and it will completely nail most of them, no matter what question you're asked. Because remember, I sometimes see on the Facebook group people talking about just learn your competencies and have an answer lined up for each competency question. It doesn't work like that, folks. So at the assessment centre, you'll be asked a question and you'll be marked against a range of competencies within that answer. So it's not one competency that you're being assessed against, it's multiple competencies, and it's the same at force interviews as well. You'll be assessed against 3 or 4 different competencies within one question. So let's knock ourselves out of thinking about competencies all the time and start thinking about delivering really good, well-structured answers to the questions that you're going to get asked. So one of the things I'm saying here is forget STAR. I think it's really confusing. The reason why it's confusing, it stands for situation, task, action, result. And I think the reason why it's confusing is people get mixed up between what task and action is. Whenever I ask people, so what does task mean? Invariably I get people saying, well, that means what you intended to do. Well, what does action mean? Well, that's what you did. So what's the difference other than past tense and current tense or future tense? Gets people really confused. So the feedback I had of my client today was this plan for delivering an answer works really well. It seems to flow better. So first of all, we look at the situation, and then we identify what the impact on others, you, the team, organisation, and the customer or the end user would be if that problem wasn't addressed. So, and there's a way of starting off your answer as well, which is really important, that helps set the scene in terms of what the situation is. And from here we move into our aim, so we can start talking about, instead of saying, so the task I selected for myself was, no one talks like that, do they? So especially at the final interview, the interviewer is just going to look at you and just go, So what we look at here is my aim. So my aim here was to, what I hope to achieve was, it's a language that's a little bit more user-friendly. And now we can talk about the options we considered and the rationale that you utilised for the option that you selected. Moving on now to the action. So what I did was, now they want to know more than just what I did was. So the amount of people I hear at interview practice sessions that I do with them that say things like, I approach the person calmly and professionally. Well, that sounds great. But what does that actually mean? I approach the person calmly and professionally. How did you actually do that? I empathised with them. Well, how did you empathise with them? I listened carefully to what they had to say. Yeah, great claim, but how did you do that? How did they know that you were listening to them? So we need to talk about how we actually delivered our action. Now, don't try and persuade me that the garden's full of roses and everything you touch is perfect and turns to gold, because things don't always work out as they should. So in your result phase, tell me what really happened, because from that we can then move on to the learning phase. And we looked a lot today at how to actually word that So as opposed to what I learnt was, there's a really good way of introducing that phase that makes it sound like you've really thought about it. And what I normally do with my clients is we'll discuss all of that so they can actually deliver it ethically, because the reflection is with me. I'll take them through that reflective process. So that really works well. Feedback I have from my clients is that interviewers, especially at the final interview, really love this bit, and I know exactly why. It's because the police tend to be very action orientated, and police officers tend, not all, but tend to be very action based, and sometimes find it very difficult to actually learn from the things that they do. So folks, there you go, that's the model. A couple of other things we looked at. We're looking for examples of where you're given 120% without being asked to do so. Answers that involve other people, especially for the assessment centre, because for 3 out of the 4 of the questions that you're going to be asked, you're going to be assessed against working with others as well as other competencies. And in your answers, there is no we. Now this is the thing my Marine friend today, Royal Marine friend, had difficulty with, because everything they do in the Royal Marines is as a team. But you've got to get out of the we, because when you say we, the assessor doesn't know whether you're talking about someone else doing what you're claiming was done in the action phase, or you. So you've got to talk about I. There is no we in your answers, there's just I. You talk about your role in the team. It's really important that you talk about other people and how you related to them, how you sought guidance from them, asked questions of them, delegated to them, and supported them. All of those sort of things in your answer. So a lot to consider there, folks. Hope you found this useful. And if you're interested, like I said, in any of the services I provide, link down below. If you're interested in the one-to-one coaching, it's now the beginning of May 2019. I don't have any slots available until mid-June. So that's how soon my coaching services, how quickly they get booked up. So book early, folks, is the message. If you're looking at one-to-one coaching or Skype coaching, that's something else I do, that's booked up as well until mid-June. I've got to give myself some time to relax. So I had someone today on Facebook saying, well, can't you just do in the evenings? No, I've got a family. I do stuff outside of this. So no, the answer's no, just no. Someone else asked me if I could do some coaching on Bank Holiday Monday. No, I didn't retire from the police so I could work every Bank Holiday Monday coaching people. So keen as I am to help support you folks, a little bit of planning, there you go. All right, so for now, from York, I'll say goodbye. I shall see you very soon. Bye-bye for now.